Hey guys, Joe here, and here we are to talk about the SplatterShot Jr. Now this is one of the weapons that you actually have near the start of the game, so I'm assuming a lot of people want to know about it. It is pretty self-explanatory, but let me go over it very quickly. So what I'll go over first is just about it. So as you can see, the SplatterShot Jr. has pretty low range, pretty okay damage, and a very high fire rate, so it can actually kill very easily. It kills easier than this weapon, and it has about the same range. But one thing about this weapon is that it's pretty much just a downgrade from the NES Zapper, except for one thing, which is that it does have the bubbler. So I'll be going over that in a little bit, because the bubbler is just the main effect of SplatterShot Jr. Very good. So let's be going over the weapons, and how you get this is you just start near the beginning of the game, level 1 or 2, and you just can buy this thing, so it's really easy to get. But what you do, as far as items to get and some equipment, what I'll get is special charge up, because you want to get your bubbler as fast as you can, so you want to fill up your special charge. Secondly, I get some of the special duration up, because then you can have your bubble up for longer, it'll help your teammates get the bubble up for longer, and that's pretty much your main function. And finally, I just have some damage up, or some swim speed up, pretty much so you can just get next to them, or so you can do some damage, so that's all pretty fine and dandy. But now let's talk about this weapon a little bit. It is pretty much a downgrade from the NES Zap, which is one of my favorite weapons, because it does just have less range, so it's not quite as useful at all. But what it can do is it has this bubbler. I mean, it still has the bad splat bomb, but it does have the bubbler, which is extremely strong. If you do want one of these things, just go for it, because the bubbler. Now, what the bubbler can actually do is it pretty much makes you invincible from any hits just for a few seconds. It's quite a while, though. It's about like 10 seconds or something. But if you have a lot of charge, you can charge it up really fast. And if you have a lot of duration, you can have it have a longer duration. So that's definitely something that you really want to have. You want to have as much charge and duration as you can, because as long as you have some bubbler, you're pretty much good to go. But let's be going over this. So as I have said a lot, the word bubbler, it is, let me charge it up really quick. Shoot the ground, of course, to charge it up. So this should charge up a little bit faster, and it doesn't have one of the slowest charges in the game. Also, this weapon shoots out very fast, so you can charge it up really easily, and then you can just pretty much run head on. So now that I have it, I can use it. As you can see, for quite a while, it'll stand here. I'm completely invincible. I can be hit a little bit, so it'll push me back, but it won't do any damage. So, of course, it's really nice. And, of course, this has the, let me show this up here. This has the little grenade bomb type thing, which takes a while to explode. It does still take way too much ink to actually be useful, but I mean, if you really want to use it, you can during the end of the game or anything such as that, or if you want to get a good positioning. So overall, what you really want to do with this weapon, get some kills like this, pretty much go around, shoot the ground quite a bit, get your bubbler up, and then as soon as you have that, you just press it out, and then you run up, shoot people. And then that's pretty much it. This is a very self-explanatory weapon. Run up with the bubbler, shoot people. As soon as you have this gone, you kind of want to run away, get more stuff off the ground, get the bubbler again, and that'll leave you doing really well. So now let me get to the portion where okay, so we are back. Let me grab my little remote. And what you of course will want to do with this weapon is get a lot of the ground, run in with the bubble, run away, get more ground. Now, a big problem about the strategy, which is pretty much why you get this weapon for the bubble, a big problem about the strategy is that if the opponent is only like inking their half of the side of the field, it's really hard to get ground, because this doesn't have a lot of range, so you can't just like shoot up in the air like you can with the NES Zapper. You kind of have to go really close to melee, which is kind of bad because this weapon doesn't have the most damage or the most fire rate, so it's not that great at melee. So there's a lot of bad things about this weapon. But if you run up close and if you get this freaking bubble, you'll be in high shape. You just run up, you get the bubble. Now a big problem is they can't just run away when you have the bubble, but if you have it, you'll at least save a few friends. You'll get quite a bit of ink a lot easily, and that guy's a sniper. Okay, so yeah, a big problem about this weapon also is that if opponents are using stuff like snipers, you really can't do way too much, because all you have is a little, really close range move, while they have really far, so you kind of have to run in. You probably want to have some of that extra speed. You want to have some of that ninja squid, because that's definitely useful all the time. Let's break that thing. Let's run up here. If I could have had my bubble right now, I would have used it. That definitely would have given me a huge advantage, but this seems good enough. If I can get my bubble before anybody finds me over here, then I'll be able to do a lot of damage, because I'm right next to their base. Of course, you just want to get as much ground as you can, just like all the games in Turf Wars. Oh, I got the bubble the second after. But if I would have gotten that a second before, if I would have just, I don't know, gotten barely any more ground, I could have used the bubble, could have gotten in, gotten some of that high damages, and then gotten, pretty much just gotten out. But unfortunately, of course, I got murdered. So, that's a big problem. Let's shoot the ground, though. And let's just run away, because, well, not run away, let's just go over here. Size sniper is not very fun. I want to just get a lot of the stuff on the ground, but I am being murdered, so let me get out of here. I'm not going to just stay right there and die. I really want to get this bubble up, but yeah, it's a big problem. This weapon does have a lot of problems. Of course. So it does have a lot of problems, and it's kind of weird. On this map, especially, this map in the mall, it's a really, well, this is the mall, but on this map, it's a really bad weapon because there's a lot of straightaways, and with any straightaways, you really can't do way too well because the weapon does focus on really more close range combat. So yeah, it's definitely not very good on a map like this. So if you know you're going to a map like this, try to switch off if these are some of the like maps that are up for the day. Because you will just be sniped like that. You really can't do anything in a lot of these maps. So if you do want to play this in the map, you will have to look for a map with tight corners, kind of like the map with all the cars, if you want to think of that. You want to play a map with tight corners, so then you can get a lot of the ground, kill the opponent, and then you won't be sniped off because, yeah, a big problem about this weapon, you're just going to be sniped. Like, as you can see, they can shoot you, you can't shoot them back. So I would not recommend this weapon for the average player, but if you are really hopeful to play this, and if you are playing in a little ranked team, then it's a really good weapon because it is a support weapon. If you do want to know, this is more of a support weapon just for the little bubble at the end. But as far as a kill weapon and as far as getting the ground, it's really not the best. So if you are looking for a support weapon, this is a great one. Just because of the bubble, pretty much. The bubble is very strong, but if you can't get the bubble on a stage like this, then I would not recommend it. You should always look at the stages before you play the game, but even so, it's a decent weapon, so you can give it a try.